Welcome y'all to the Reality or Not podcast with your boy DJ Reality, your boy Brian Clancy from Nothing New Under the Sun. What's good, Brian? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed and impressed with the life God gave me. What about yourself?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. Blessed, born day. Woke up early, wanted to get this podcast off and go drop it today too. So I just wanted to get some conversations with my cousin, my favorite cousin, and go from there. What about you?
Oh man, you didn't messed up. You said favorite cousin, and you got like 30 of them, so you can't.
They gonna be all right. They know.
Hey,
they ain't jumped in my
birthday.
DM and said happy birthday or hey, let's record a podcast or hey, they ain't nothing against them, but just one of them things. It's like, yeah, I mean, I you have everybody within the box of how they are within your life, right? And a lot of people don't understand that. It's like, well, it's some people you can't trust. It's some people that you'll go on a trip with. It's some people that you would leave in your house. It's some people that you don't. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like all of those things I just mentioned, I'm okay with that with you. But there's others that they don't all check those boxes.
yeah, that's the hard part because I mean, family is a fickle thing, right? But like, man, let's get into it. You are 49 years old, dog. You going into year 50.
Yeah, nigga,
So,
getting up
how
there,
you
nigga.
feel? I feel getting into this year 50. I've been in here for a couple months. I can tell you a little something about
it. One thing I've learned, man, in life, and I probably use that phrase so much now that is ridiculous, but it's just being yourself and being authentic. And as I get older and older, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. Yes, I'm doing this. And just being able to take control of the things that you want to do. Take control, not even just within your career, but the things that you want to, like you say, hey, I want to do a trip. Hey, I want to cut these 5 pounds that, that's been bothering me for the past couple months. It's now is the time because I mean, I always mention it, but Deion Cole said, man, hey, we got less summers in front of us than we do behind us. So I'm always on that. I'm like, okay, well, how can I take advantage of what I want to do and how can I get there? I'm always trying to look at the future part rather than trying to, I mean, I live in the now too, but understanding like, okay, now how do I pivot to make sure that things that I want to do are there or the things that I want to do with people are there versus the things that could distract you? Because the problem I feel sometimes we get lost in the financial struggle or we get lost in things where it's not really, not to say it's not that serious, but we get lost in things
may not be
that
as important, right?
yeah, because we're
Stuff
sitting there, we sit there every day, like, oh man, shoot, I wish I had this, or I wish this, that. I was like, no, like, be blessed with the things that you have, and then still try to achieve the things you want to get. And a lot of people can't really get past that; they get stuck into the mundane, everyday life cycle. Whereas I damn near celebrate my life every day, and I try not to make any excuses because I feel like it's the optimistic side of me where I'm more optimistic than pessimistic, or more optimistic than pessimistic in a sense that I'm always, looking at the potential versus quote unquote, it is what it is type of thing, because some people have that thought process where they can't, I want to say depression, but they're stuck in the endless cycle of this is how it should be and versus like what they can make it be, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna let nobody tell me or dictate what I can do or what I can be able to do. Because life is easy. Well, I want to say life is easy. Life is easy to figure out how to get to somewhere else. Like now, the path to getting there is the difficult part. But it's never been anything that I've ever tried to achieve that I haven't, I want to say come close to, but I have like I get through and I can figure out how to get to that next step. Because one thing, like, I mean, I know I'm not going to make it to the NBA at 49. You know what I'm saying? So that's like an unrealistic goal. But if
Well,
I
at least
say,
you
hey,
can join
look,
the army now, right?
I could join the army. I thought,
Hey,
nigga,
they
I
just
thought they cut
relaxed.
that off at like 45 or 42 or
They
something like
they
that.
just relaxed some of the guidelines because I guess they about to start needing some troops. You know what I'm
Nigga,
saying?
I need shit, nigga.
Man, but
If I get them niggas to forgive my loans, nigga, like, shoot, my student loan, nigga, man,
oh,
like
so
I
you
would,
signing up tomorrow?
nah, I ain't doing it. But the optimistic side of it made me think, like, maybe I should do it, because I talked to the whole, my sister, her whole side of the family, well, besides her whole family tree,
Lineage.
below
Yeah, her
her
whole
is all
lineage. Yeah,
military
yeah,
associated shit. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, man, I'm hearing these benefits. I'm like, wait a minute, I ain't got to put no money down for a house. I ain't got to no taxes
Yeah,
on
we talked about that, with the not paying that PMI insurance stuff.
mhm.
That, like, you can do 100% VA loan with no PMI insurance. That's wild. Yeah,
Yeah. Nah, shoot,
yeah.
I need to look into that. Yeah,
But man,
long as I gotta go
age
nowhere.
age is a fickle thing, man. Because like I was just talking at the basketball court last weekend on Sunday talking about it because it was we had two people that was one guy he was turning 30 and like he was like, no, I turned 30 on the 25th. And I'm like, 30, dog, that ain't nothing. It's when you turn 40 that you start thinking, dang.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
like, because I know,
That shit next year. I mean, I'm not talking about like next year as far as 50, like, so you automatically think like, shit, like you half a century, nigga. Like you been
and see,
50.
that's the crazy part because I know once I turn 40, like the whole thing about, dang, I ain't did what all I was supposed, like you have these ideas of what you were supposed to do after high school and stuff, and you like, man, where I'm at in that position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I was like, dang, at 40 kind of changed my life because I was like, yo, it's now or never. You know what I'm saying? And then like I
Grind
kept
time.
hearing Tupac say there is no 30-year-old revolutionaries, right? And I'm like, dang, do you stop fighting? But I think once you get older, you stop caring about the stuff that don't matter. And
Yeah.
people be like, "What you mean?" I was like, "It's a bunch of stuff that don't matter that you be like, yo, I ain't waste my time with that stuff." Like
I
you
don't
start
waste my
thinking
time
of,
with people. People in general. So I look, I'm on the same, keep going, my bad. I'm on the same page as you, bro. Like, look, I'm like, man, hey, look, my energy just doesn't allow. I was like, I'm tired. I just got off work. I gotta cook dinner. Like, I gotta take the dog out. I gotta build his Lego set. I gotta
right.
like,
It's so many things that you want to do with your time and what the time that you have left, right? And so
mhm.
like you start thinking like I like debating people about LeBron and Jordan. That was like, yo, why are we having this conversation? At the end of the day, what do it matter? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like,
Nigga,
whatever. You know
nigga,
what I'm saying?
I
Like,
learned the hard way. Like, not the hard way, but I learned from the Jay-Z and Nas stuff. I was like, you know what? Everybody's opinion is their opinion. And understanding that in life is one thing that it was one thing that I had to, because there's no, it's like church and state, right? There's no right or wrong answer. Of course, there could be something that painfully looks wrong, but there's no, I'm saying that to say I don't have the energy to sit up here and debate what I want to say, even debate what I say, but I don't have the energy to explain everything to you at this point. Like, I mean, you either fuck with me or you don't. And I've always been kind of that in general, like, hey, this is me. Ain't no, it's no sugarcoating, and I think that's kind of like where I win for the most part. I might lose in some situations, but for the most part, I win just by being straight up and transparent. And if you can fuck with that, that's cool. I mean, like I said, sometimes it could be considered damn near, like, I don't say egotistical, or but it could feel like not what's the word, cocky,
mhm.
and it's like, no, like, I'm confident in what I'm telling you, to the sense that, like, if you ask me a question and I don't know, you ask me a question and I say no or yeah, and that's funny. People don't like to hear no, or people don't like to hear straight up answers. They want to hear more details and more nuances and stuff like that. Like, no, if I tell you I don't like to eat chitlins, I don't like to eat chitlins, as an example. You'd be like, well, why don't you like to eat chitlins? I'm like, because I don't. Like, it's just, it's like, well, do you
See,
like do you like anal sex? You be like, no. I'm like, why don't you like anal sex? It's like, like I can't really, like, you have a logic behind why you don't do something, and it's fine, or you don't have to give the logic behind that. And like I said, and I'm not an anal sex guy, but like just to be straight up, because that shit dirty. But anyway, but it's stuff like that people already have it in their head, the things that they want and don't want, but when you can mention those things, it's like, oh well, why? I'm like, and I never had an issue, and you mentioned this before, like, as far as understanding the why, I'm okay with the why as long as you're comfortable with answering a similar question. Because one thing I have a problem with is somebody asking me a question, but yet I ask them the same question and I get not a whole different answer, but I get a whole different response. And that means that if I ask you, like you say, hey, like, I don't know, I get this anal sex thing back into the topic for some reason. Like I said, I'm not an anal sex dude, but y'all do what y'all want to do. But say, for instance, like, you be like, well, hey, do you like anal sex? And I'd be like, nah, that ain't something I fuck with. I'm like, well, why? I'm like, well, it's just, and I'm saying that this is when I give my why, and I'm like, well, no, that's just not the path that I'm trying to take, within intimacy. I never done it. So it's something that I don't feel the need to explore, because how did
wait.
Yeah.
You never pressed the wrong button?
Like, you ain't
never.
I don't.
It's dark in the room, and you just trying to get it in there. You like.
I don't keep pushing the button. Like, oh, well, I'm up in there. It's like, it's you ever seen?
Fuck with you.
No. You ever seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? This is movie. Jason. But he was like, it was I forgot the name of the comedian, but he was like, I always wondered why did God put the sewer system so close to the playground? And I live by that creek, and I'm like, it's a playground right there. Why in the hell am I in the sewer system? But what I'm saying is, like, when you get to that point and you're explaining, and then you ask that person that question, and they be like, I don't like it. I'm like, like, why did I give this whole in-depth response? It's almost like being interviewed, right? And I don't like to be interviewed. I like people. I like whenever I'm having conversations with people. Well, I said the word already, but I like to have conversations with people, not necessarily interviewing them, because I feel like when you're interviewing them, you're trying to find reasons to not
disqualify.
Yeah. I mean, because think about it like this, right? I ask you a question. I'll be like, hey, Brian, are you a coder? And you say, or a developer, and you be like, yes. And then you say, hey, what type of development do you do? And you be like, boom, 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 boom. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All I'm doing, I'm checking boxes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not getting to know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but then, like, if it matters, like, you be like, well, shoot, man, do you like coding? What draws you to it? Those are the types of questions I am into, not versus can you write a query? Yes. Can you like stuff like that bothers me when people ask those types of questions versus getting to know you as a person, because like I said, we can do interviews all day, but that's only checking boxes versus like getting to know the person that you either want to be with or just want to work with.
So like I do think in interviews, like, you get a good understanding. Like, I keep looking at these old school, like these R&B people talking about how they put together hits and stuff, and I was like, yo, I like when Jimmy Jam answered the question like, hey, that Janet Jackson song, we did that based on this, this, that, right? Because like you get that insight. So I like an interview. I just don't like when somebody
what's your thought process? Like,
I just don't like, and I'm gonna go back to where we started at, because I think you made a point of it, but didn't really bring it in. And and the point of it is it worth it, right? is the conversation worth it? That I'm finding out that there's less people that's worth having conversations with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not talking about anything, and I'm not getting enlightened by it. So like, so when somebody is talking to you and it's not any change of information, it's not any transformation in where we started from and where we're going, it's a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like that. That's why I said LeBron better than the Jordan thing, because
You don't
like
learn it from it.
we didn't transition. We didn't get a better. So like if somebody said, "Hey, Sean, I'm gonna tell you that in Jordan era, this is what he had to face, and in LeBron's era, this is what he had to face," and made a different argument than I've already heard before,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd be like, "Oh, dang, it's still more to that conversation."
Yeah.
Like as far as basketball, right?
Yeah.
But the conversations that we have, I'm gonna even take it a step further, because I posted this on my Facebook this week.
Mm-hmm.
But like our relationship is not worth more than my peace, right? So in these different relationships that we have with people, different conversations and stuff like that, like as I get older, I tend to not want to have a lot of conversations that's not going anywhere, and I tend to not want to deal with people that don't elevate my intellect. You know what I'm saying? Like I got less and less time for that. So like my peace that we talk about often
Mm-hmm.
is more valuable than certain relationships. And as relationships turn, right? Because no relationship stays the same. There's different dynamics and stuff to it. Is that different as relationships turn, so does your energy, right? So like we had a period of time between us where we didn't have much of a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you turn it back on and like we start back talking to each other, we realize that hey, we have a lot to talk about. And not only do we have a lot to talk about, but we got a lot to talk about that could help other people become a better version of themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, you know, as you get older, you have less and less conversations, or less. Well, I do. I know I do.
No,
Time
look,
for bullshit.
look, you brought up a great point, and you say the lost time that we had of not communicating and then back to communicating. I think that's important because you start to realize the relationships that you want to have versus the relationships that are exhausting and don't make sense. You be like, okay, wait, this, like, we may have had differences, but yet this is still this is for how we started the conversation. This is still more peaceful than this conversation over here, or this relationship I'm trying to manage over here. And and it's like that, whether in life, it's like that within your career and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get out of of ownership of something that's not mine, because I'm like you talk about the uh the LeBron and Jordan. Them niggas don't care. That shit gets us nowhere as far as the conversation. And you had mentioned something earlier too, which I want to talk about. When you say I'm not enlightened by this conversation, I'm not growing from this conversation. And, like say for instance, we're having a debate about, I don't know, Jordan, LeBron. I guess that's a good example. But I'm having a debate, and all you keep saying is 6-0, 6-0, 6-0 versus and it's, but then like if you say something like, well, Jordan was able to this is the reason, like one of the reasons why I feel like Jordan is a better player is he led the league in scoring for 10 years straight. Like it's stuff like that that can add and make me think about the debate versus just saying, well, LeBron only won
LeBron to pass the ball. He don't want to take the last shot. If
yeah,
you look
stuff
at
like
it every
that.
time, yeah.
So it's understanding that and who you talking to. Like sometimes people are protective and don't want to, open up. And I think that's, I mean, we were talking about feelings earlier, and it's just like understanding if you want to give within the conversation or give within growing or enlightening a conversation, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But for me, I'm like, okay, why am I having this conversation if I'm not getting nothing from it? And I don't feel like, that's not like a knock or a diss towards anyone. I think it's just more so understanding who you're talking to and where you're trying to go with it. Because I shoot, to get me on the phone in general is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like to get me, I'm like, wait a minute.
Why is that? Why is it that it's more work to be on the phone now than not? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do you feel
we
like
evolve, bro? Like, listen, we got so many, and I don't want to like attribute it just strictly to social media, but we have so many avenues and things. Like, dog, we didn't have a 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? As kids and stuff like that, we went to school. We hung out we were within a peer group that made it, like, well, you found one out of the group. Like, hey, what's your phone number? Let's talk later. And we would sit there and talk hours and hours and hours on the phone. But as you get older, you just don't really have the capacity to do that. It's like, well, I don't have the time to sit. I just really don't believe in sitting on the phone more than 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, of course, it depends
but
on.
now we can sit on the phone and do so many different things now because you just put your ears on and just be like, yeah, like you can.
But look at it like this, me and you, when we talk, like I call you and it might be I don't know, like a 2-minute topic. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like, it's like, hey man, go look at this or check this out, and then we could talk for like an hour or two with no hiccups or You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm okay with those types of conversations. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not okay with the small talk conversation. Like, we actually be talking about shit. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a conversation that's, in my opinion, that's worth having, then yeah, I'll have it. But at the same time, we're not having those conversations every day. We're having those conversations every now and then. That, I'll talk to Eddie. When I talk to Eddie, and that was one of the main reasons why I started the podcast with Ed. I'm like every time we talk, we've been talking like literally 4 or 5 hours. Like, and I'm like, okay, cool. And it wasn't like it was great conversation, but it was just like I hadn't talked to him in so long. I was like, well, shit, let's do a podcast. Like, we can record an hour a week or 2 hours a week, but that notwithstanding, I just think that, when you want to have those conversations, or when there are topics that, or when you're feeling, I'll use the word that you use, enlightened by the conversation, then it's easy to have those conversations. But when you're not gaining anything, or when it's just kind of like going through the motions, like, if you don't fuck with me, I don't have to fuck with you. Because as Eddie said, I can be, I'd rather be emptying off my DVR. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still remember that shit to this day. I was like, yo, you don't want to fuck with no chick? He's like, man, like, I got shit to watch. I was like, damn.
Hey, but talk about Eddie. But Eddie is the type of dude, like you said, you call him and like you end up being on the phone for like 4 hours, or y'all catch up and like y'all on the phone, y'all in person for like 3 hours, like, yo, like this.
We never lose touch.
And, but that nigga is, I want to channel my inner Eddie, because Eddie can cut a conversation. I mean, like, Eddie has a way of saying a lot of stuff with few words, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Eddie can be like, I guess that's just what it is. You be like,
yeah. No,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's one of the dudes that I'm happy to have in my life, in the sense that he supports you, but yet he's gonna stay within his space, which is fine. But he'll just be, I want to say, just nonchalant, but he's able to express, like I said, express a lot within a few words. And it's not as if he's a yes man or anything like that. I like, hey, what you think about this, da da da. He'd be like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like,
yeah, and that's final. It's like, that's what it is. Like Tupac did this, like, and I'm gonna just go with that because and like, but what I realized, and then watching podcasts and looking at some of the stuff, that's the type of that's like to say a lot without saying much is dope because you got some people that rumble, and you like, like he could have said that a whole lot easier, but like you could see he was in his head. And those people that do find ways to like, all in all, it's all about not wasting people's time. And like, I love the fact that Eddie don't waste some people's time. I love the fact that like I can call y'all and trust y'all logic, right? I'll be like, man, this ain't making sense.
Because unbiased is unfiltered too,
this ain't making sense. Sean, why in the world do women like to talk about, like, I just go for my mom, right?
Yeah,
my mom,
and I'm giving it to you like uncut, and a lot of people don't, but a lot of people aren't ready for that though. People
and a lot
aren't
of
ready.
People never think about it too, because like I've heard the conversations like, I never thought about that. So you don't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? But like
no, but it's all like you talk about Kevin Samuels, right? You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people can find reasons to say I'm offended by this, but then others could be like, I get what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like I told you, it comes down to the messenger, not the actual message. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember that whole topic, and I was talking about this the other day, but that whole topic where it was like a 36-year-old woman, 2 kids, and she was talking about, he's like, well, do you feel that you're overweight? And asking all these questions to her. And she was like, I got something to lose and da da da. But then she was like, yeah, I want a man 6 figures, 6'5", no kids. And the way that he delivered the message, was a bit rough. But brutal. What he said,
It was a little brutal. It was like,
no, it was brutal as shit. But it
was true.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing. But sometimes we take offense to things the way that they're said, not the actual message. Because it's
I wouldn't say brutal. I would say bluntly, because brutal would mean that he said it was, because I don't think he said it with intent to be like, he was like, look, you just start making this money and like you're not in those circles with it. Like you talking 2%. 2% of people make $100,000, right? And so you like,
less than 1 or 6'5" and up. And I looked at the math, and I think it was like 0.5 have no kids. Like it's like less than 0.5 have no kids. So it's like you're talking 0.5% of the world, and that's what you want. And then even out of that 0.5, they have to want you.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that, like people, but why you talk to a Black woman like this? Why you think that? It's like, well, no,
that's them morphing the conversation too. It's like, look, we was having a conversation and now y'all acting like, because that's what I don't like in this new world of talk too, right? And I wanted to ask you about this, but like, how do you feel about people that eat by talking about other people, right? Because I look at ESPN.
So how they what?
Right? They eat by talking about other people.
Oh man, woo!
Right. So I look at ESPN and I'm like, dang, like Stephen A. Smith and his whole. It's not even about the sports no more. It's just about talking about people, and then that they getting bread. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm like, man, even one podcast
look at
going
people
back
that eat off of talking about people. Look at people that don't eat but talking about people.
Like, and it's about nothing too, right? Like it's about nothing. It's like, hey, because I bring up Stephen A. Smith because that LeBron versus Jordan thing is one of his like big things, and I'm like, yo, that's
a hot topic. I get it. I'm just saying, like, it's the front page news. It's just, it's almost
it's front page news because he's making front page news, and like the things that I'm not okay with is when they make it about gossip, right? Well, what I heard is such and such is looking for a new place to be, so Ja don't want to be there. So like, let's get him to the Miami Heat. I heard that.
But nigga, look at
Like,
Sherrod Moore, right? Like I said, I'm not a Michigan fan or anything like that, but when you're talking about these charges have been dismissed, and this man lost his whole last job over some lies. I mean, of course, it was like a code of conduct thing, and yeah, he should have, been fired. They had rights to fire him off of that, but it's just like, that was all quote unquote what hit the news. He got pretty much let go from that, like, and I don't think it's. I don't want to say that because
wait, did he get let go from that, or did he get let go and then he went got crazy? like they went they love to pour it on black people, especially black men. They love to pour the negative stuff on black men, especially when everybody started to turn on them. Because you hear even people talk them little jokes about Puffy, right? It's like, hey, this man, like, once they turn on you, it's like, J. Cole had that interview, right? And he
if somebody's lying on you, you go crazy. You about to lose your job on some lies, you would go crazy too. I spoke about a situation where, like the chick said something about me.
That nigga lost his job and he went crazy. Like,
bro, listen, not to say that we make little money, but he makes millions. And within a news story, you're losing. Dog, it reminds me of Michael Vick, right? Michael Vick. I remember watching on SportsCenter. It was like, this was what 2000. What was that? 2008, 2000. Whenever the dog situation happened, and I remember them announcing on SportsCenter when it was announced. He's like, Michael Vick just lost $115 million, and I was like, God damn. 115, nigga, I would go crazy if I just lost 115 million. Like, in a day, it was reported within a day. So essentially, with that report, he even if he lost half of that, it could have been impacted strictly from gossip. And the crazy part, I mean, of course, I think Vic knew of the stuff, but Vic wasn't there training these dogs and doing all this stuff. He's out here being a professional football player. But I'm just saying, like, even the Sherrod Moore thing, Sherrod Moore, like I said, I'm not defending them because, they my problem is when the narrative, and this was I was seeing up and down the news feed, was, oh, well, he shouldn't have fucked with that white chick, or like, but he's married out. So it's all different types of shit that, like the narratives that we spin on it based off of, and then for it to come out and it's not even like everything was dropped and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, that's like page 6. Nobody cares.
Yeah, see that's the other problem about it, because like it's salacious and headlines when it's first coming out, but when they correct it, like, people don't want to cover it. Like, people don't want to be like, hey, like because the whole thing with is that she called her lawyer, and her lawyer is the one who called the police to set him up for a case, right? Mm-hmm. You like, damn, like, because I thought about it too. I was like, damn, breaking and entering. He had been in her house multiple times, and this is what I ain't even gonna get into that no more. But
let me ask you this question. With Harbaugh, do you think the situation get handled? That's why I was trying to stay away from the racial aspect of it. But do you think if that was Harbaugh, that would have been a thing?
No, I don't think the university would have handed it off like that.
Yeah, that dude lost his life in 3 days.
Yeah, because
and that nigga went, and like I said, it came out that he didn't do it, but shit, nigga, like, I probably would have broken.
But what he did do was enough, though, right? Going over there and acting like you're gonna kill yourself, that part is enough to be like. But like, he didn't, and I'm gonna just be honest with you. Like, I can't. He didn't feel it to me like he could run an organization with that many people around him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm okay with him getting fired, especially over this dumb stuff, because he with all this other scandals and stuff that was going on.
Emotions. You can't operate off emotions.
Yeah. So,
but people want to see you have emotions. I'm like, what do you want? Like,
They
how do
want
you find
both.
a balance of
They
that?
want both. They want like this NBA season been the best NBA season in a long time. These
Yeah.
niggas have been going after people, right? Like
Mhm.
they've been playing defense and
They
like
just hooping. Which I
yeah,
love. You know, people,
yeah.
but I think we kind of losing the stars though. But I'm okay with that because eventually somebody, because it's crazy. I see more, and we ain't got to. I would have if you got to come back to the Shrine More thing. But even from the NBA standpoint, the thing that's dope is I'm seeing more names that I don't know than that I do. And that's cool. But I'm still seeing the names that, the KDs, the LeBrons. I'm still
But you got to put that in perspective too, Sean, because LeBron been in the league so long, all these old players been in the league so long, and it's been all about them. The new up and coming people, and even the people that's standing out on these 10 days that's just balling out of control on 10 days. Like there was a
but it's
few
evolution.
like Larry Nance's other son playing for the Bucks. Like
Uh-huh.
I was like, dang, when did he come out? But he was on the 10-day contract and got 32 points in the league.
Yeah.
So I think
They just getting better. The niggas are getting better.
and
And
they're
that's the
making it
dope
look
part.
easy, and this stuff ain't easy. Like people be like, "Oh, it's basketball," like it. But dog, running up and down the court, 6, 7 times, and still being alert to make passes and being able to catch and being able to streak and dunk, that's not normal people stuff. Like I want y'all to understand that. Like, but that slam dunk contest sucked. Like
Yeah.
the
No,
dude,
no,
the
but
dude,
look at it like this,
dude,
right?
dude
From
dancing.
no, it was terrible. But look at it like this, right? The game, and this is where, say for instance, Jordan and LeBron conversation. The game evolves so much that what a player can come in and do can make it look so easy because of the talent level that they're at. Like, you got to think, like, and this is, I think, I, I always think it should be separated by errors. And I say that as in it's hard to compare Rakim to Jay-Z to Kendrick to I don't know. Trying to think of something from the 2000s. But it's just like when you
Nelly,
box it up and say that you say who?
Nelly.
When you box it up and say that it's all the same, then everybody's going to have their favorites because it's based off of their era. So
Eminem.
yeah.
You
So
can't say that because you got some favorites now, right? You got some favorites now.
you talking about favorite, like you talking about NBA music or
Rappers, NBA rappers, like yeah, you got some,
yeah.
and it's and see
I
like
haven't. I'm saying I can hear something on the radio now. I put it like this: I can hear something on the radio in 2026 that I'm totally unfamiliar with that I can like, and I won't know who it is. Whereas in 1996, I can hear something on the radio. I'd be like, "Oh, that's what's the name? Oh, that's what's the name? Oh, that's what's the
yeah,
name?" And I would know damn near every song. But the thing is, the songs that I could hear from 1996, I could hear them in 2026 and still be like, "Oh, that's what's the name? Oh, that's what's the name? Oh, that's what's the name?" But I
yeah,
can't tell you who the new artist. I mean, I'll Shazam my ass off. I'm like, "Oh, I like this. Let me Shazam this and listen." I mean, and throw it in my Apple Music. But it's just one of the things. It's like we have like think about it like this. We say, "Oh, the music ain't the same." And I try to tell people like, "Nah, it's evolved past you." And I say that as in, can you imagine being in a car with your moms and you over here? And I'm gonna give at least 3 different things that you could be listening to, or 3 different options. You could be in the car at one point in time. I'll just throw a random year. I'll say 1993. You could be in the car. You could be listening to Wu-Tang, Tribe Called Quest, MC8, 8 Ball and MJG. Trying to think from another Outkast. Well, Outkast was kind of around that time, but
yeah.
and Snoop. I'll just say Snoop. Those are 5 different locations of music that your parent or your parents can be listening to and be like, "Man, what the fuck you listening to?" Because their era or their time could be Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire,
The Gap
Parliament
Band. Yeah.
and Gap Band. So it's
Atlantic
like,
Star.
yeah. So how do you compare those to that? You be like, well, this is good music. Like, well, no, this is good music. And they be like,
but
what the fuck
they
is
have
this? I
musicians back
don't want to
then.
hear these niggas playing the guitar and shit, just bopping and shit. Like,
Yeah,
I want to hear, but dog, can you imagine? I'm trying to think of a way to, I don't know, NBA YoungBoy or something like that. But can you imagine your parents' ears when they hear sword chopping, talking about the mystery of chess boxing? For some, it's so our music was so different than what their music was. So I get that people have their own thing now, but I'm saying, like, within the NBA has evolved so much that you have a ton of LeBron level talent as far as being an athlete in the league. Just like 10 to 20 years ago, you had that same thing with Jordan, but it's just hard to get past Jordan, or it's hard to get past LeBron, or it's hard to get past KD. As you said, like, you can see somebody with a 10-day get off and like ball out. I remember, was it in COVID when the not the lockout, but the bubble, and I forgot the dude name from Indiana, but man, that dude was going off for 30. He was averaging like 30, 40 points in the bubble. And that's just because they just straight hooping, no crowd, He's just, I'll think of his name in a second, but I'm just saying, like, it's levels
you talking
to this
about Fareed
shit.
when he had the dreads? Fareed was balling.
No, not Kenneth Fareed. No, his name was, I can't think of his name, but like that dude he was averaging, like, in the playoffs, he was averaging like 20, 30 a game, and you had never heard of him. I think of his name. I'll pull it up in a second, but I'm just saying, like, the talent level, that's the dope part about the NBA, right? Like, because you're playing on the biggest stage. Because, dog, I don't know if you ever played against like a professional player. Hell, nigga, like, you ain't got to play against a professional player. Nigga, you can play against a college player, and like they playing pickup with you. Them niggas don't miss.
Yeah.
They don't make no mistakes. they shit. I done play with people when they have headphones on. I'm like, man, fuck you, nigga. You ain't that good, nigga. like, so you just gonna have your AirPods in while you just shooting long range, 3-pointers, while you just crossing the line or the half court line. But I'm saying, like, but the pace of the game and players have gotten so much better that players are more efficient. Players have grown or evolved into the talent level because they looked up to LeBron or they looked up to Jordan. So I remember, I think it was like the 96 or 97 All-Star game. And I remember looking at, like, it was like a picture, and it was Jordan, and Jordan been in the All-Star game since 84. And I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, damn, like, Jordan is up there with, like, you're looking at Penny Hardaway, Shaq, Grant Hill. I mean, he's up there with a whole new crew of players that have watched him play as a player. Now they're playing with their GOAT or who they look up to. And it's it's literally they're looking at, like, that's evolution in itself to see, like, you mentioned Iverson. Consummate. I mean, I don't want to say consummate because that nigga did do some dumb shit, but like, he was a professional. He like, that nigga was literally a NBA player that kind of is. I would say he exuded the next generation. Honestly, I don't remember. I mean, I don't want this to be his badge of honor, but I don't remember a player having a tattoo before Iverson. I don't remember a player having braids before Iverson. Now, nigga, you can't get past braids and a tattoo. Like, it's not, and if it's not braids, it's just a blowout with a fade. like so many people with blowouts and a fade, nigga. Like, and
not even blowouts, just nappy hair now. They just let their hair grow nappy.
And that's all they care about. They don't care about. They just come to hoop.
That's on your head, man. Come on. And hey, so a little offside of that. who's the first R&B group you remember with tattoos? North
Ooh,
Carolina.
I don't remember them with them. Talking about
Jodeci.
Jodeci? I
Yeah,
don't.
Jodeci was the
I don't
first.
remember. I remember Jodeci's image. I don't remember it being tattoo driven.
Yeah, with the boots and the
I might
tattoos.
put D'Angelo on there.
It was
Well,
Jodeci
well,
with the
no,
boots.
no, no. I will say the show that after, not the show that after party, but Diary of a Mad Band. All them niggas are standing on there looking rough as shit. Jodeci and shit, and that was
Yeah.
90. That was 93. So yeah, I mean, I'm just saying I didn't remember it from the first album. I was trying to think if it was someone from between like
Dalvin
91
had
and
tattoos on
93.
the first album, and then they just kind of went.
Dalvin don't count, nigga. that
Yeah,
nigga just be in the background singing chords that you be like, damn, that was Dalvin singing that.
yeah. Hey, but the dude put together, and I didn't know he was behind some of the new artists. Well, some of the newer, like he actually discovered Tink.
Oh, really?
Which yeah, it was kind of crazy because he had like a whole hit factory.
Mm-hmm.
Of artists that he worked with, mixing them with, because like the VA North Carolina thing was in full swing, I guess. But yeah, it's super weird that Jodeci was the originators of the tattoos on the R&B artists, because that might
I
have.
found his name. I found
All
his
right.
name. TJ Warren. That nigga
Oh,
was going.
TJ
That
Warren.
nigga was
Yeah,
going
yeah,
off in the bubble. I think he
yeah. I
ended up
mean,
getting a contract too, but I haven't heard from that nigga since.
no, no, no. Yeah, because I think it was in the contract. I mean, but like you go back to like Richard Dumas, and like I remember him balling for Phoenix, and wondering like, dang, where this dude was. But he got kicked out for
I
using
call that.
cocaine.
I put that to David Stern. It wasn't even cocaine. I think from what I remember, I could be wrong, but from what I remember, it was weed. It wasn't even
Oh,
coke.
sweet.
It wasn't even like a hard. It was literally. But I attribute that to David Stern and how he wanted the league to look. Richard Dumas was on his way to being that dude. He reminds me of what Latrell Sprewell became. You know what I'm saying? Like he had that. I want to say because Latrell was just naturally athletic. So when he came
He
in,
skipped. That
yeah.
dude could skip down the court, and that like when you talk about speed, like
Mm-hmm.
you don't realize how fast these people going, and like you
Mm-hmm.
trying to run back, and they already made the shot. You're
Latrell,
like, dang.
woof. If that nigga wouldn't have
Yeah.
got in trouble with Carlissimo, man, like it's just I don't know. So let me ask. Let's pivot the conversation because I know we about that time, but Africans, nigga, like I know no, we've been trying to touch on this topic for a minute, but how do you? I don't even. I don't want to put it on them. I want to put it on anything non-Black American. Because I've noticed some biases, not anything that's non-Black American. And I mean we could talk about the African thing because I could talk directly to my experiences of dealing with that, but why is there a separation between, like, I don't want to say who's better than who, but like who, I don't know, man. Like
I think
I
like
go ahead.
when we really dig into it, right? I think there's some misconceptions on this part of who is true, right? Who is real as far as uh when it comes to ethnicity, as far as who's the bottom of the chain as far as in humans. Like I really feel like people think that black people are the are the bottom of the food chain. Like I don't know if that's white
Black people
supremacy.
and Mexicans, and it's sad, that we think like I don't know. I'm a pivot off of that. I don't want to be too biased, but I'll say this: I feel like we separate ourselves as a people for no reason. I feel like it's easier to find commonality than to find separation, and I feel like we automatically separate ourselves for some, like whether it's the amount of money you make, the stuff that you own, stuff. and like I always say, I can talk to the CEO just as well as I could talk to a janitor. You know what I'm saying? Like I never pivot my conversations based off what somebody may consider like that person may be of a lower quality because they're not where I'm at. Because hell, like where I'm trying to get to, that they shit once or twice a day just like I do. Um, and I try to not separate that, and I don't do it, but just because like I said, I can have a conversation with anybody, but at the same time, people add levels to things where they separate themselves from the from the lesser environments to be able to put themselves on a podium to say, well, this is me, this is what I do, blah blah blah. And we got to be cautious of that because what's it called? I forgot the Bible verse, but the pride comes before the fall. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can be down there with them in no time, you know, or you
Yeah,
can or you can
but
elevate and
I
be
think we
up.
kind of talking about two different things, right? Because success is temporary, right?
Mhm.
Because you could be successful, billionaire, or whatever, and then you could not be. Look at Sam Prestine, the dude from the crypto. But
Mhm.
the other part about that is not treating people like human, right? Like when you start seeing people and start seeing them as subhuman, that's
Mhm.
when I have a problem with it. And I think like when people like especially Africans when they think that they're above a class of black people, they're better than black people, and it's based on them being black people being subhuman. When I say subhuman, I'm being like less quality of a person, right? So like when you say you can talk to a janitor and you can talk to a CEO, I think that's a part of being a human, right? But
Yeah.
when you look at a janitor as being less than a person, that's when it's the problem, right?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of that going on, and like black people separate ourselves too. I mean, classification is always gonna happen, right? We always gonna be light skin, dark skin,
Why is
strong,
light skin
fat,
and dark skin a thing, man?
because it can be as close. So
Cause so it's closer to what white people are versus. I,
Well, white people kind of made like the closer white you are, the more beautiful you could be determined, like based on what they
I don't
said.
abide by that. Tiny don't. Man, come on.
Hey,
I,
hey,
50, 51 off from that. Like
yeah,
that
but
picture was terrible.
beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I think that people classify things like there. I think that especially when you don't know what real beauty is, right?
Yeah.
So like
Like
you
I said,
get to
it's all.
thinking,
I mean, Ti can love her, and it's okay. In general, it's but we've been talking about. I mean, I know Biggie talked, and I told you, man, it comes down to the messenger, man. It's literally since 50 said it, he's a troll. But when Biggie said it, it was all good. If y'all do y'all research, go look at Dreams of Fucking the R&B Bitch. And Biggie was talking about it and laid it out on who he would and who he wouldn't fuck with. And them ugly escape bitches was his words out of his mouth that he would fuck RuPaul first. And RuPaul
it's a,
is
it's
a
a dude, right?
transgender man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Or I don't want to miscorrect this. He's one of the letters,
yeah.
but I know he dresses in
He's in
drag.
that
I don't
community.
know. I don't know
Yeah,
if he did
he in
any
that
transition or
community.
anything like
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
yeah,
That's his community, right?
yeah,
He in the
mhm,
LGBT community.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, man. I mean, but keep going. My bad. I'm sorry. I just had to interject that Ti and shit. Ti
yeah, and,
50
and
shit.
and again, it's the messages that we send too. Like, because I will say that there's some African nations that seem like they want to give an olive branch. They want to bring us back, like Ghana. I know we can get dual citizenship in Ghana, and I'm not typecasting all Africans or all Jamaicans or all anybody to say, "Hey, look, y'all was slaves, so y'all was weak. Y'all come from that slave life." And the fact that we not pure African anymore. Like, does that mean that we not family? You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild to me. And then like, and I
Why
I
can't we
got
be
bias.
separate though? Why can't we be separate but equal? Why can't we be Why do we have to? This is my problem with people, and I'm sorry for stopping this, but my problem with people in general is spreading themselves so thin to do all of these things and to be all about this culture and to do all no, be the best you that makes sense. And I'm saying that I don't have to go to Africa to figure out who I am as a person. I can go to my mama, I go to my sister, I go to my great aunt. I can be like, hey, look, tell me a little bit. I can gain the history on that. I can delve deeper if I want to here. Learn what's here. Don't try to. And, it's people like, oh, you ain't been to Africa yet? I'm like, nigga, no, there ain't no place I feel obligated to go to. And you're not going to force me to feel like I need to go to a place where I feel like, I want to say that I'm not welcome, but a place that I really don't care to go to. And it's nothing against, any different, any country over there within Africa, but it just want to it's like, well, so the LeBron
so they guilt tripping you about going to Africa, but
people guilt trip you over everything. People listen, you get guilt tripping over not making six figures. You get guilt tripped on not owning
barely making six figures.
Yeah, you get guilt tripped over everything. But that's what I'm saying. That's where the separation I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to if I'm messing with somebody and they do hair, you know what I'm saying? And they only make a certain $30,000 or $40,000 a year. I'm like, what's your drive? Does this work for you? Can we put it together?
Or scale, right?
Or they could make 200,000 or 300,000. I'm like, okay, how do we, how can we work together, within this it doesn't matter what level you're at, as long as you have if anything, I'm segregating anybody is on ambition and drive and being able to do things that they want to do. If they're striving towards something, if they've given up on life, then that's what I'm like, I mean, you on your own. But if they're pushing,
how do you give up on life?
People do it all the time. I'm telling you, bro. Like people do it all the time, and I'm saying it as in they get. And this is to how we started the conversation. People get wrapped up into the day-to-day mundane, and they just don't. I feel like if you're not trying to get better, you're only going to get worse. You can't. There's no steady state in life. It's because you could get to this level, and it's are you trying to get more? Or are you trying to stay there? If you're trying to stay there, that's your ceiling. I can't be with you if you're at your ceiling because it's only going to go down. Does that make sense?
And see, and you saying be with you, I don't really even want to be friends with you if you just hey, look, man, this is life and this is what I'm living, because that's that woe is me. And I feel bad about it, but a lot of times back at home, that whole woe is me.
They're right here. And they're just slowly or maybe fastly coming down. And that's a sad state to be in. And you can't, like I said, I can't save everybody.
If you're not growing,
you only live one life.
Yeah, if you're not growing, and like with your money, right? Let's say you got your money in the bank, right? Mm-hmm. If you ain't making money off interest, then you're losing money because inflation is eating away at your money, right? Yeah. I feel the same way about people, right? And so and people can talk about me because I've been successful, and right now I feel like I'm at the bottom because I ain't I'm not where I see myself at, right? I got bills that I'm struggling to pay right now, right?
But you're trying.
I can tell people I can tell people this: when I was successful, you didn't know the difference. You know what I'm saying? You didn't know the difference between how I was doing and me having a more difficult time paying bills, right? Mm-hmm. So when your attitude changed because you're not successful anymore, that's when you hey, the same people that you saw at the top, but you was like, I'm shitting on you niggas. Mm-hmm. You coming down to the bottom and you like that. But again,
that's a different scenario though, because I'm saying it's the right scenario, but it's the wrong person. And I'm saying that as in you're still trying to get to where you want to get to. You have that drive. That doesn't that doesn't put you in that. And of course, there's going to be times that things aren't going the way that you want them to go. But at the same time, you still know how to pivot and figure out how to make them happen. I'm not going to look at Brian and say, well, Brian's over here trying to figure this out, so let me talk to him whenever he gets back up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the problem that I have with people. I'm like, no, you love people when they're here, you love them when they're there. And that's the difference between, like, I don't think our conversation energy change, but our topics may change just because life is lifing. You know, and that's the thing that people can't understand. Like people automatically think like, oh, well, this is happening to him. Oh, he'll be all right. He go figure. It's like, no, I will not figure. Like, I will figure it out, but I'm over here struggling. That's the time I'm looking for people to help and support, or to give me, because I can't do it all by myself. We all can't. You know, we think that
that's wow. That's wild. I was just having this conversation with my cousin, right? Because you're paying tax on a building that ain't making you no money. So like it's wild because like you try to be the person that like family to me gets away with more because we share a bloodline, and I understand that, hey, nobody was born with that silver spoon in their mouth. Even the people that had more when they was growing up, it was just more for us, not for for the world or whatever. So when my cousin comes to me, he's like, look, man, let me help you. Like, let me invest in you, because he see that, like he heard me talking about, hey, dog, these taxes hit me, and now I'm full pledge, like boom, boom, boom. He's like, no, dog, we in this together because I seen you do so much for other people. Why wouldn't I do something for you, right? And I was like, yo, I appreciate it, but and like I was telling him, I was like, yo, I want to take your money, and he was like, no, it's okay, like you got me, and again, I'm like, yo, thank you, because that's a reflection of me being good, me being a bigger and better cousin to you, and so you want to show that same appreciation to me, and I appreciate it. But being a person that you want to see, and I think about like me and you, right? Because we friends, we were friends first, and then we family, right? Being family and being able to challenge and support each other is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I think having these conversations and getting on with family, or even being with your friends and getting on with friends is very important, because you never know who, like you said, you never know who watching. You never know who who got some money, settlement money, and want to invest in.
You don't know what people are going through, man, and that's always a tough thing. Like, I appreciate our conversations, just because, like I mentioned, we probably haven't had this many conversations. I mean, we've had conversations because, of course, we stayed across from each other for 18 years, but it's just one of them things. It's like, now we have something that somebody else can look at and be like, oh, I see, I'm not the only one. Or I'm dealing. We all, I don't ever want to, and that's what I tell it. Like, I don't want to put my situation next to yours, but I want to have a conversation with you so we can relate, even if it's about whatever we're going through, or if it's about just life in general. I mean, we could talk about, oh, well, I have this going on. Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. And I'm okay with that. But sometimes, the problem I have is when, not necessarily talking about a topic in general, but just talking about you're being open. You're telling people like, hey, look, I'm dealing over here. And they're like, oh, well, shit, I'll talk to you when you get right. And that's shit I don't really like, because I'm like, nah, like, I'm dealing right now. And that's when I want to talk to you the most, because most of the time when I'm not dealing, I really don't even have the time to like, don't get me wrong, I have time I can figure out time, I can esh out time to be able to talk to someone. But at the same time, my time becomes more limited when it's being more occupied. So it's like, well, now I have a little bit more capacity to figure out or have these conversations, and you're not there. And that makes it a little bit harder for me to be like, well, when I'm back, it's almost like a me against the world type of mentality. It's like, oh, you weren't fucking with me then, so why fuck with me now? Type of shit. Like, oh, new year, new me type of shit. Like, oh, I'm good now. I'm balling, So it almost makes you resent the ones that went away from you. And as you mentioned, protecting your peace. It's like you have to do that. Like you have to, we mentioned this like several times. It's like, I think it's always finding a balance. It don't necessarily have to be 100% protection of that peace, because you want, like, my mom can disrupt 75% of my peace. But that's my mom. You know what I'm saying? And look, I can have a conversation with her, and it could be like a great one, but then it could be like, damn, shit, what? But what I'm saying is, it's like, that's a conversation I welcome in, because it's a relationship that I will continue to have until we're both not here,
Right.
But everybody don't get that opportunity. So if you have the chance to, if you have that chance to take away 5 to 10% of my peace, even when I just met you, I'm getting to know you, stuff like that, then I'm like, nigga, why in the hell am I dealing with this? Where I can deal with my mama and deal with that 75, and then now you over here taking the 5 or 10. I'm like, yo, now I'm down to 25, and I'm willing for the 75, but that 5 or 10, I'm not going to deal just because I don't know you. So it's just like finding a balance of like the piece that you want to be able to sacrifice, but just don't be intentionally screwing up my peace. And sometimes it feels like that, where people people want to make you uncomfortable, and I don't
think it's I don't know if people want to make you feel uncomfortable, or they feel like making you uncomfortable, making them comfortable makes you uncomfortable. But like, and then like, Sean, you just said three things. You just said three things that I definitely want to hit on. The first thing is our conversations, right? You said, us having conversations, and the reason
you ain't
why
gonna glance over that shit, but keep going. I'm talking about that people, it makes them comfortable to make you feel uncomfortable, and I really feel like that be the thing. But keep going. All right, keep going.
But
my bad.
One, like we have these conversations, and there's value in these conversations, and us being therapeutic, right? It's being therapeutic to us, but we also have those conversations to say, like, when we going through it, like, hey, we went through it, and y'all can get through it too. Like, and these are some of the solutions that we talk about, because you can talk about problems your whole life and not do anything to solve them, but when you actually come with solutions, that's what that's definitely what we try to do when we talking to each other. It's like, hey, did you try this? Did you try that? Because solutions based is what we, I don't want to see nobody down. I want to see us all up, right? And especially my family, because like if my cousin making 6 figures, 7 figures, I can be like, yo, that's my cousin. Like, I'm gonna go on vacation with that nigga because he paid for the dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like there's value in having people that are successful around you, right? Because because success breeds success, right? So that's one thing. The second thing that you said, with your peace and your mom, like growing older, like your peace is more valuable, and when you realize that certain people will subtract from that peace, but it's to the degree that you allow them to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you like, I see where this is going. I'll talk to you later. You know what I'm saying? Like because hey, when they start talking that talk, you on one. I'll talk to you later, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it happens all the time. And that's how you have to protect it. Like, protect it. Like I said, I can exaggerate the number to 75%, but I mean, you have mentioned that you're like, okay, it's going down this road. All right, ma, I call you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Love
and
you.
then, like you said, they give you that unsolicited advice or tell you some stuff, and like, and they and even those people. And the other part is like, you know, you got people that want to help you, and don't know how to help you or can't help you. Like, there's like, I tell people like, hey, I think my they was like, hey, you know, I got you that $15 you paid for these things or whatever. I'm gonna pay you back. And it's like, dog, my problems is way bigger than $15. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I
Nigga.
appreciate it. And keeping my peace is not giving you that, not giving you that information. Like we talk all the time, but like we don't talk about, especially on the podcast where everybody can hear about it. We don't talk about the stuff that people can use and harm you for, right? So like when I say that I'm down and out, trust believe, like my down and out may be a lot different than what other people do. Like before I get to zero, I'm a little worried. You know what I'm saying? Like people get -0 and be worried. I still got options in my life to
Look, hey Brian, listen, I got hit up from somebody asking me for $7. And I was like, it's like $7. Like, but you know, I had to, and that literally, we talking like 3 or 4 weeks ago. We ain't talking in 2002, 1992 and shit. Nigga, like, I was like, $7. I was like, hey, look. And
that ain't even enough for a Happy Meal.
Mind you, I wasn't even working at the time, but you know, nigga, but you talk about levels to this shit, right? And I was like, but I had $7. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I mean, but I just broke it down. I was like, you know what? I was like, here go $20 and you good, whatever. But I'm like, but that's when, you know, it makes you aware that, yeah, we all deal, but you know, some people deal on different levels. But I'm not going to judge them based off of, you know, shit. I'm like, 20, I can, you know, here go $20, boom, you good. But it was just a weird thing to me to think. I'm like, damn, like I got problems, but I don't have $7 problems. You know, and and that's how I think about it. You know,
exactly.
But no, it was funny. Like, man, my mom, just kind of off the topic, man, my mom texted me, and she was like, "Hey, they got these boots. What size do you wear?" And I was like, and I'm thinking, I'm like, man, my mom don't know how to buy shit for me, like especially shoes. You know, I was like, Ma, I don't need anything, but I wear 13. She bought the boots, mailed them to me in a size 12, and my feet is grown a little bit. So like I'm in between the 12 and the 13. Mailed them to me. I got them a couple of days ago, whatever. She was like, "Happy birthday." I was like, I didn't ask for this. Like, I didn't. Don't give me. I mean, I appreciate everything she did, but for one, she got me the wrong size. 2, it's something that I probably never wear, and I'm like, Ma, you done sent. And this is where I don't like people try to make you appreciate things that you're clearly telling them that I don't. She sent me the boots in a size 12 that I can't fit, and she sent me 2 skull caps. Okay. I was like, but then a couple days ago,
like, make you appreciate her. She said, make you appreciate it. Happy birthday.
I'm never giving somebody something that they don't like. I try to be very cautious of that stuff, but like I said, I love my mom and all that stuff, and I probably talk about it every podcast for maybe about 5 minutes. But anyway, but you're not. I was like, Ma, so I called her, and I was like, Ma, I told you a size 13. I was like, I can't fit a 12. She's like, did your feet grow? I was like, what the fuck does that got to do with you sending me a size 12? And I told you I wear a size 13. Has nothing to do with my feet growing from whenever you've ever bought shoes to now. You said the wrong size and you were in the store when you were buying them and you chose to buy whatever was on sale at the time. That's how I look at it. And I could be, and I just feel like it was only a 12 available. She's like, he'll wear them. He'll figure it out. And she was like, well, you give them to your cousin Larry. I'm like, so the quote unquote gift that you got me for my birthday that I'm supposed to appreciate, I got to give it away, and I still must appreciate this gift. Like, come on, man! Like, make it make sense. Like, do you literally are you thinking about what's going on here? Like, what's going on up there?
Like, Ma, that's like me buying you a car and making you pay for it. Like,
yeah.
Hey, here you go, new bill.
Yeah. That's like buying me chitlins. And I've already mentioned that I don't like chitlins. You're like, well, you're going to eventually get hungry. It's like, no.
I'm straight.
So last question. I know we a little over time, but last question. It is how would you describe me as a person? Like, if you was like somebody come up to you, be like, yo, like, what's up with your Shine boy, or what's up with your cousin? Like tell me about him. We do the same back and forth, but I'm just curious on,
man.
Like,
I have had to describe you to like my friends. I'll be like, man, my cousin Sean is an anomaly. He's a party starter and a party finisher. Like, he'll get out there, dance it up with you, and tell you to go home. Like, that's just like he Chante is a driven. I actually wrote your did I see your professional bio?
I know you might have you might have emailed it, because I didn't see it in text or whatever. But
okay, yeah, it would have been emailed because it's a little longer. But like I was like, yo, he's a tech dude. He's a techie, shoe guy. All in all, outgoing personality guy, a lot of energy, and like will sing his ass off, even though he can't sing, right?
At all.
But
not one great note.
He's unapologetically himself, and it's life to live life, right? Like he ain't holding nothing back, and he ain't pulling nothing forward that don't want to go forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he's the type to take you to go on a vacation with you, and if you want to go, cool. If you don't,
I'm going.
You having fun. I ain't gonna hold up my trip for you.
Yeah.
But some of those qualities we share. So like it's but yeah.
I'll say this. I think that about you in general, I think that you're very, very giving. You tend to you don't hold on to things that don't make sense. Like, you're the type that of course is smart and he's able to get things done, blah blah blah. But it's a unique way of being built, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. So it can almost be I want to say offensive, but just because, like, you can be like, hey, look, this is the plan that I have, and people be like, well, how you gonna do it? And it's like, well, I'm gonna do it. If you want to be a part of it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. But this is what I'm doing, and I feel you bring people on positively and negatively. And I'm saying that as in, it may not always go the way that you want it, but you're still going to pile through or drive and make sure that it gets done. And that's dope, man. You always been I look up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look up to you as in, like, Brian is unbothered. And I say that as in, nothing is going to stop you from, like, I want to keep harping on being driven, but people can, like I said, people could take offense to that because everybody isn't driven. So when people aren't driven or have discipline, it bothers, at least me on the outside looking in. I feel like it bothers people that they don't have that. And that's one thing that I pull from you because, like I said, if you want to be on the ride, that's cool. If you don't be on the ride, that's cool too. I'm gonna keep going. And I feel like I pull that from you. I pull that from my mom. That nothing's gonna stop me. And I feel like you have that like in you fully where it's not even a question. I mean, of course, we have our ups and downs, but you still like, I mean, you shake it off and be like, okay, cool. Well, I have to pivot over here. Like you're resourceful to be like, well, shoot, I wanna get these 5 things done. I don't really understand the third and the fourth one, but if I can't put somebody in that place to do that third and the fourth one, I'm just gonna do it because I don't I don't feel like dealing with trying to get this motherfucker to do the third and the fourth one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do it myself. So like I keep saying self-driven, but you're the type that just gonna like you're a family man, you figure out what makes sense for you, and that's the path that you drive. And if it doesn't work out, then you would shift and pivot and make it happen some other way. So
well, yeah, and like that's that. I think we share that same resolution because, like I said, Don make shit happen and be like, all right, it is what it is. Like, like, hey, I like my house being by myself.
yeah,
I need my space. Like, hey, yeah, this my shit. Like,
it's peace.
Yeah,
It's that peace. I mean, but you know what? At the same time, it's like, well, shoot, I can save on bills. Let me rent out. Like, I will do the things to make sure like survival is key within how we move, right? And but I do feel like we move past survival as in like we're looking at wealth. We're looking at things that we own, things that we can leverage to be able to be more successful. And that's not in everyone. You know, some
I
people
mean,
only
we come from Muskegon, Michigan, where everything feel like a drag, right? Where they like, I like what you said, unbothered, because like it bothered me that people would be like, yo, they ain't gonna let you do that. They ain't gonna let you do that. They ain't gonna let you do that. It bothered me that people didn't think that we were gonna get up and go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like it bothered me that people didn't think we were smart enough to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, dang, like that's how you feel? You know what I'm saying? And going and getting them paths and making those paths and still being able to, and like you said, we that might come off as arrogant sometimes because you know on the podcast we've both been accused of people we putting people in our shoes when like I don't know what shoes you think I got, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
it's only a few pairs that I wear. You know, like it's like you can be. I want to say though, you understanding who you are as a person can be beneficial for other people rather than looking at it as a negative. You mentioned the shoe wearing. It's like, no, like you said, I only wear my shoes. Like I can only speak. I can be empathetic to understanding, and that's the difference. I'm not speaking. I'm speaking off of experience, but the me empathizing with someone and explaining like, no, you can do it too. I'm not saying you're not capable. Like I think sometimes the narrative is, well, I like just because you do it, just because you did it this way, do I have to do it this way? It's like no, but I'm telling you what worked for me. You know, and that's fine. Like you can take whatever I say or conversations that we have, and you could be like, well, I'm gonna take a piece of that and I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna grow. But as long as you're growing, I don't care how you grow. Like I don't like I'll never tell anybody, oh well, you know, you have to get this certification. You gotta date this person, you gotta buy this house, you gotta do these things. Like, no, your path is your path. But if you ask, because I'll always give solicited advice, but I'm never going to give unsolicited advice. If you're not like, I don't even care to like, I mean, and this is at that big age, like I don't even care to give advice no more because I got to hear the reasons why you don't want to do it. I don't even want to hear it. like you know,
yeah,
like you don't have. I don't have to convince you to do things the way that I want to do it. I'm just telling you this is how I do it, or this is how I did it, and this is where I'm going. You know, from there. So it's just like people, you know, and that's the. I feel like that transparency part is important, but I feel like the more, in my opinion, that I'm transparent, the harder it is for people to digest. And I say that as in, I just tell you what it is, straight, no chaser.
But then,
you know, so when you do that, it's like, why it's got to be like that? But I'm like, yo, that's my truth. Like,
well, see, the hard part about that, and I get caught up in that too. The hard part about that is people take it as being more directive than inspirational, right? You be like, look, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here for you to judge how I did it. You know what I'm saying? Either. So like, because sometimes people try to throw that in there too. They judging how you did it. And you like, yo, at the end of the day, it's getting how you live. And if you don't like how I live, then I'm not offended. But you acting like I'm mad because I tell you I'm not offended.
Why do, and I don't know how much time, but why do we try to offend? Because I you know, and what'd you say? You said people get more comfortable by making you feel uncomfortable. And that's I feel like it's like a safeguard, in my opinion. It's like, well, I'm gonna be in this space, but I'm just gonna consistently, you know, try to figure out your space. But I'm gonna protect my space over here. But I need to be in your space. So it's like people trying to understand your space, but not giving up anything within their space. And I'm literally I'm of the ilk of any question that you can ask me, I can ask you. And if you're not responding the way that, you know, I ask you like, hey, how you doing? You be like, I'm good. And then you ask me, how am I doing? I'm like, oh man, you know, I'm doing all right, you know, struggling a little bit. The more I tell you, the more opportunity it gives you to be able to punish me or judge me based off of how I'm telling you I'm doing. Now, flip it. I ask you how you doing. You say, oh, I'm good. And then you ask me how I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm like, oh, and then this is to the topic about the chick on IG, but it's just like, oh damn, he don't talk that much. He don't never tell me anything. He's been more protective. He doesn't want to tell me about, you know, everything. He's not open and But you literally gave me the same response that I gave you, but yet here's the whole idea of not giving enough or not giving the answer. And that's one thing too. I've gotten to the point of accepting people's answers, and that's who they are as a person. A lot of people don't like to do that. They like to keep delving deeper. And it's like, no. And honestly, when you start to delve deeper, it starts to irritate me a little bit, you know? And that's just what it's like. I don't like being asked a question the same way or a different way 5 times. And I'll tell, like, I'm at a point now, it's like, you just asked that question 5 different, or you just asked me 5 questions based off of my one response. I was like, no, I told you what it is. And I don't know, maybe it's just I'm trying to protect,
it's that older age coming in. You like, dog, I don't have time to, because I'm not trying to influence you no more. I know that's what it is. I don't care how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said and I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like
and that's okay.
I used to think that I could get me in a room with them and I come out with an understanding. I realize now people don't want to understand. They want to be red, blue,
they want to be
red, like
comfortable to make you uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I really feel like that. You know, everything she was saying, talking about if you don't talk enough, you're not giving enough information. If you talk too much, you're giving up too much information. If you want to be around them, you're being clingy. If you don't want to be around them, you're not really interested. All of those things are, you know, it's just really trying to find that balance amongst people. And I'm just like, is it worth it?
I don't
Like
no
when you have to draw that type of energy from me, I'm like, and even, I mean, bro, and I don't. You mentioned that it's attributed to age. I don't even know if I want to go that far, because I'm saying at the tender age of 29 or the tender age of 19, it was probably worse. It was probably like, okay, let me go get another phone number on a piece of paper.
yeah, but you know what? I think it's wisdom too, because like where it's going, and so you automatically start being like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, and real quick, because we're gonna have to get out of here, but I tell people like this, like the quickest way for me to solve a problem sometimes is just me remove myself from that problem. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your problem. You get like I remove myself from problems if I'm the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like so like if
it's what you're willing and not willing to deal with, and that's just life, man. Like it's what you want to. If you want to deal with it, cool. If not, cool. But one thing I'm not going to do is sit there and be interviewed versus having a conversation. I think that's the difference. Like, go ahead.
So, like, you know how I feel about that. I will not be interrogated. We can have a conversation. We can communicate, but an interview is kind of different from an interrogation, because, like, interrogation is like you trying to get me to say something, like you done fucked up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Look. If you ask me the same question 5 times, I'm gonna give you the same answer 5 times, and that annoys people. And I don't intentionally do it, but I literally, like, if you say, it's like I mean, you talk about interviews and stuff like that, right? Like, I know I can tell you, not necessarily that I got the job, but I can tell you the energy within the room. Now I'm very aware. I'm like, okay, this is headed down this path. I'm confident about this. I'm not confident about this, But I can tell that based off it being an interview versus a conversation. And I think that's in life in general. Like, if I'm having an interview or conversation with you, I can tell if this can be a long-standing relationship or this can be a short-standing relationship. And I'm okay with that. That's the dope part. Like, who you click with and you know who you don't. And a lot of people are unwilling or they blame it on I want to say just male-female relationships, but I mean, hell, I done had friends or people I consider friends that I'm like, okay, we don't click. We don't have to be around each other that often. I'm like, okay, we click whenever we link up. Cool. So it's stuff like that that people have to be aware of in their energy when they're coming off of getting to know you. Like, when you get to know me, like, you got to get to know me as in who I am as a person. When you understand who I am as a person, you would understand I'm not. I mean, we talk about these interview questions. Like, you would understand. Like, nah, if I ask him 8 questions, that nigga, like, we headed down the wrong path. That is. I mean, of course, getting to know people and stuff like that. But if I ask him interview questions versus having a conversation, because of course stuff can come up within conversation, but just asking me like checking the boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
look,
I definitely got to do that interview for Black Man of the Year for you, because I think people would definitely get the spice from that. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. No, but look at it like this. What was I? I had a topic. I can't remember, but I know we about to drop. But it was I forgot. I think about it later.
Man, but we got enough for a conversation next time. What I do want to say is happy birthday. 49 years old, man. Not everybody get to make it this long. Tupac was 25 when he passed away. How old was Big? 26?
24.
24?
Yeah, he's about to turn 25 in May. He passed March 9th, and his 25th birthday was in motherfucking in May.
He didn't get to make it to see 25. I thought he was older.
But look at all the shit that they did before. Like, they left a good foundation. You had mentioned like revolutionaries and stuff like that. Like, that's crazy to even think that. Like, you don't see too many people within their 40s or their 30s fighting for us, unless it's like from a political standpoint. And it's like, well, shit. I mean,
non-contact.
Yeah, so say Martin. Martin, I think was what? I think it was like what 39 or 38 when he was murdered. He was in his 30s. And the same thing with Malcolm. So it's just, I mean, I'm appreciative of my big age. And yeah, man, just go. I don't know, kick it and grab some good food and keep it moving. So and protect my peace for my birthday.
Enjoy. I'll come up there next weekend, hang out with you because that's when the festivities start. So it's next weekend, right?
Yep. So come on through.
Come on. Is Eddie coming down?
He ain't said nothing, so I doubt it. Because Eddie be Eddie, but yeah, I doubt it.
All right.
Like
so
I said, I have nothing against Eddie. That's my guy. Eddie gonna be like, nope. Never be like,
okay. Eddie is a pillar. He doesn't move, and he don't move. Like he moved to the beat of his own drum. Like he moved.
That's dope. Look, people don't understand that. Like when you can do that and be like Eddie has had so much success that's unrecognized just because he is who he is. He's acquired. Like Eddie has had more. I mean, Eddie just celebrated 20 years working at his job. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can't say that for no job. Like for 20, like
Eddie is an island. That dude is an island where he can absorb stuff and he can push everybody away and not be bothered, right?
Yeah.
Like you can have a festival and then tell everybody he's going the next day. But before I get out
speaking
of here,
of that, man, look at the Roots picnic. I'm thinking about going down there or whatever.
I think Jay-Z is performing, so that's gonna be wow, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at tickets now. I'm like they decent. Of course they went up because of Jay-Z, but they between like 100 and 250 or something like that. But that's for 2 days. So I'm like, oh, whatever. So, but it's just weird. It falls on a Saturday and a Sunday. So I'm used to Friday and either way it go, I would still have to take a day off. But anyway, looking to that. I'm talking about seeing Bill Burr potentially in a month and a half too. I fuck with Bill Burr. That motherfucker say shit the right way. Like, and it's so I like the way he put words together, where it seems like he's about to be offensive, and then like it's like the white Dave Chappelle. It's like, but Dave words are definitely Bill Burr said some shit, but but it's not.
You get close enough to the edge to be like, is he saying my nigga?
Speaking of that, I need to check out what's the nigga that
Jack Harlow?
Yeah, I need to check out this album. I'll fuck with Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow is actually pretty good.
This album ain't it though. It's so different. It's so different. Yeah,
I like Jack Harlow, man. I need to.
Jack Harlow is my boy. Is my dog. Like I got his. Like he's my dog. But like this album is so singing sad. Like it's different. Like you have to. I had to look at the thing, make sure I was listening to the right album. But
you ever listen
to
Mac Miller's album? What's the name of the album? It was like kind of an R&B-ish album, and I liked it a lot though. But I'm wondering if it's like that vibe.
Man, to me, it's like a Drake album. Like the one album that he was singing most of the time.
Which one?
I want to say his fourth album. The one.
The one with the double album. He had the double album. The double album. He had one R&B and one.
He had Lil Baby on that one. It was the one before that one. Yeah. I think it's the one where he in the restaurant sitting by the table.
Take Care.
Yeah, Take Care.
That's the one a lot of people like. That a lot of people consider that like one of his best, album. That's one I didn't really gravitate too much. It was songs on there. Like his favorite verse on there with me is the song that he got with Rick Ross. And Just Blaze did the track. That's like my shit or whatever. That's literally my favorite.
But that was probably one of the only fast songs.
Yeah, it was only like maybe 3 or 4 from what I remember. That was with what's that song? God's Plan on it, whatever.
Yeah, God's Plan.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of not rap. I mean, it's rapping, but it's kind of melancholy
But
rapping.
that like Mac Miller got his heart broke. I mean, not Mac Miller, but Jack Harlow got his heart broke on this one. It's a little bit different, yeah. But anyway, what you see behind me is that's my daughter, Desiana, and what Sean what we gonna start doing is like we got opportunities for us to have some sponsorship. So if y'all want to make some money, y'all got to get it on the ground floor because we're taking off, baby. Taking off, baby.
That's right.
So get in
Did
there.
Desi approve this?
No, she ain't approved this. She gonna I like girl.
she gonna look. She gonna see the shorts. She'll be like, "Hey, you didn't tell me."
That's because, yeah.
I love it though.
Yeah.
Hey, she can't sue us. We ain't got that.
It's my picture. I took it. So, I've been in the graphics game a long time. Like, just hit us up. We get something together. It can be a little subtle, or it can be large and in charge. You know, this is not we're not sponsored by Foot Locker yet, but hey, hit us up. You know, you see the shoes. You see the shoes.
Yeah, look at shout out to Foot Locker, nigga. I haven't bought a shoe from Foot Locker in I don't know how long. And the only reason because like nigga, I cannot this whole buying shoes from motherfucking vendors. No, I remember when we first got a Foot Locker in Muskegon. Like that was a big deal. Nigga. I remember like we that old. Like I remember when that shit got to the mall. Like it used to be just MC Sporting Goods and Imperial Sports wasn't even around then. So
Imperial Sports that's when it was that's
no, they was after Foot Locker. You remember Foot Locker came first because that's when we started getting shoes and stuff. And then, take that back. You right. I'm
Imperial Sports. It was just MC Sports and Imperial. Those are the only shoe stores we have for.
Yeah, because Imperial Sports used to be on what's that? Not Summit. Is that Summit? Whatever. Imperial Sports was like out further, and then they had the one. That's the one I used to work at. Then they had the one in the mall. Yeah. But yeah, man, I still remember that Foot Locker, man. I remember Fred taking back 4 pairs of shoes from me and shit. Like, cause I was fucking them up. Nigga, I got my David Robinsons. And nigga, that shit got a scuff on the side. Fred went in there, yelled at him. I can't remember Fred's last name, but Fred went in there, yelled at him, got me another pair of David Robinsons, and then I fucked him up again. Then he took that pair back, and then he got me a pair of Jordans. And then he took them shits back and got me another pair of Jordans. I got 4 pairs of shoes off of one initial shoe, nigga. Like, you remember Fred, right?
Yeah, man, that's my brother, right?
No,
that's Dad's son, right? That was Joey. Like he would say he was Dad's son.
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up.
Yeah, we got to. We run out of time, so you want to give that last minute shot?
Yes, sir. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a message. But the one important message is protect your peace. Know where you're going within life. Don't let anybody judge that. Be who you are, whether bad or wrong, but don't try to hurt people within the process. Try to build with other people when you get that opportunity, and don't try to judge based off of I want to say perception, but just try to get to know people before you disregard them and say, nah, I ain't fucking with them. You know, and when you do that, you see who people really are. And if you don't fuck with them, then don't fuck with them. But if they're genuine, good people, then try to grow with them and build with them and go from there. What about you, Brian?
Hey, you said enough. So we're gonna get out of here on this time. Peace. Cool.